Banick here again at Salem Golf Club. It's time for the step 2 of the 12-step golf program for beginners and intermediates. I'm going to throw a lot of information at you in this second step. There's a lot going on. Again, it'll all become normal to you after you've done this for a while, but it's going to sound like a lot of talking and a lot of information, but we'll try to package it for you. The first thing we want to get into is the grip. You can go online and look at all kinds of videos, and they're all good about the grip. The three that I like to focus on that I see the most is the 10-finger grip. And for those who've never played golf, this is a grip of a golf club. This just happens to be a wedge, got a W on it. And a wedge is designed to hit the ball shorter distances than some of the longer clubs. It's designed to get the ball up really high. But without a proper grip, it's kind of like getting in a car and there's no gas in the car. You can sit there and kind of check it out, but you can't really go anywhere. So a good grip. I see people with a 10-fingered grip, which is kind of like baseball where you get both hands on it. And I've seen some people somewhat successful at it. Not that many. Then we've got the interlocking, which is the pinky on your right hand if you're a right-handed golfer, or if you're a lefty, the left pinky interlocks. So we've seen that. I think Jack Nicklaus used interlocker. I like the overlap, which is the pinky on top of the between the index finger. I've seen even people with 2 fingers. Jerry Jackson is a friend of mine that used to do that. What you're going to see me do is the pinky on top. I like it because it feels like I've got more control, and it feels like I've got one hand on the club instead of 2, and it allows more of the club head to do its work. What we like to see on the grip is look down the shaft of the club. Usually there's some arrows, sometimes there's not. And what we like to see is a V in your left hand. Form a V and point to your right shoulder. And then we like to see the right hand go on with the overlapping pinky and form kind of like you're shooting a gun or something. And again, it forms another V to the right shoulder. So that's kind of a quick way to do it. We want that grip to be soft. And when you hear me use the word soft grip, what we're talking about is not light, and we're not talking hard to where you see muscles coming out of your arms, but you want it soft to where a friend could start to pull the club out of your hands and you're not letting them, but when they start to pull it out, that's good grip pressure for a beginner. If you get too tight, it constricts the club and you get all kinds of crazy results. The next thing we want to talk about is your posture. Most of our parents used to say, stand up tall, walk straight. Well, that's good advice, and we try to encourage that here. And what that looks like is standing up nice and tall with a little bit of knee bend, as opposed to hunched over or leaning way back. So a good way to do it, I have a alignment rod here just to allow me to get straight. But basically posture is standing up tall, maybe pretend like you're sitting on a chair or about to. And sometimes it can kind of hurt your back over time, but your back muscles will strengthen as you work on it. But we want to see really good posture. Not a tension, not stiff, but just relaxed, good posture. A little slight knee bend. The next thing we like to see is the ball position. So in step 2 of the program, we talked about the grip, and we can dive in deeper on any of these in our lessons, but grip's most important. Second's posture. Third is ball position. Sometimes what we see happen a lot of times is people put the ball in the center of their stance, or in the back, or way up front. It is all over. What we like to encourage is ball slightly forward of center. Even on a wedge shot, I like to see it slightly forward of center with good posture. As your clubs, and we'll talk about the different kinds of clubs that you have. A driver will probably be off your instep, and then as your clubs get higher into the category of clubs that are hitting the ball higher, we'll probably move you more toward the center and then slightly forward of center. The reason for that is when a club comes back, we want the club to hit the ball right where we started. And we want the club to do all the heavy lifting and the work. We don't want to try to do the work for the golf club. Our job is to be in the right setup and position to allow the club to do its job. The fourth quick thing in the second phase is the alignment. So you got to kind of know where you're going. You got to drive the car in the direction you plan to go. That's the example we give. So with the proper grip, the proper posture, proper ball position, and the proper alignment, and we use the stick to help us, you can actually have a good chance of hitting the ball. And we, in future steps, we'll talk about tempo and all of that. But if we have these four things that we're working on, that's about 6 inches from the hole, so that's a good thing. Those four things are in the second step that we would work on over and over till we are sure that we have a soft grip, we've got good posture, it's not going to hurt ourselves when we swing, that we're good ball position, we're giving the club a chance to do its job, and fourth, we know where we're going and we're aligned properly toward the shot. I hope that helps. Again, when we do lessons, we would go deeper into each of these areas, customize it for you. But all right, hope that helps. Thank you.